And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this broadcast of Millwood Falcon basketball here on PPBC TV. Dwayne Doolittle, Jamin Dawson back with you here on day 3 of the John Nobles Invitational Tournament, which features in this game Millwood Falcons and the Westmore Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Or Jaguars. Yeah, if I had the car, it'd be Jaguar. Tonight's game is sponsored by SSM Health. Sometimes after a hard-fought game, a player needs the services of a sports medicine specialist. And those specialists at SSM Health Hospitals has a great team to get a player back in the game from injury. Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores is a founding partner of Millwood Falcons broadcast, and they continue to make our community a great one to live in. Thank you, Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores, for all you do in support of Millwood Falcon Athletics. Additional sponsors: Sunbeam Family Services, Millwood and Richmond Foundation, First Security Bank, A-Plus Lawn Services, Big O's Pork and Dreams, Chris and Christy Harrison's Heritage Funeral Home, David Threet's Hair Cafe and Cosmetology School, Wings Supreme, Narissa Berry Insurance Agency, Love's Student of the Month, Super Prep, and of course Perry Publishing and Broadcasting. Well, good evening and welcome again to the third day of the John Nobles Invitational Tournament. I'm Dwayne Doolittle. This is Jamin Dawson. We've got Shirley to our left, Langston Shirley that is, and Taz on the camera here, bringing you this final game between the Millwood schedule for tonight as they face the once beaten in the tournament Westmore Jaguars. And this game goes back to last year, I believe was a finals game here in this John Nobles tournament. Now is a consolation final game. So looking forward to that and what it brings. Had a chance to talk to Coach Dorian Williams before the game today, and after yesterday's display and the way they played, getting down 15-2, talked about some of the takeaways from the game. He told me that, of course, Zon Williams did not have a good night yesterday, and so he benched Zon in the third quarter and simply told him, hey, listen, sometimes it's not going to be your night. And so he had Zon on the bench, encouraging other teammates. He did say that our team is deep enough if we've got someone that's not going, it's an opportunity for somebody else to get out, and they could have that opportunity to do that. We also talked about the physical nature of the game on yesterday, and Coach Williams informed me, he said, yes, this is a bigger team, and all that we do here now gets us ready for March when we get to make the run for the gold ball. See that we got pushed around a little bit yesterday. We did some pushing around yesterday. He said, but certainly at the end, we expect to win. And that's where I ended the interview with him, because that's one of those takeaways, those sound bites when you say, now back to you in the booth. And so that's where we pick things up here as the Falcons come in tonight and looking to right the ship to go 2-1 in the tournament versus 1-2. And so, again, Jamin, we'll talk about keys to the game, players to watch, and much, much more as we're about 6 minutes and 25 seconds from tip-off. And we'll bring you players to watch, which is brought to you by Super Prep. And they are the premier sports outlet featuring the very best in high school and college student athletes in the city, state, and nation. Super Prep can be found on CBS Sports Radio 105.3 and on social media at Super Prep. Okay. Players to watch for the Westmore Jaguars. And what sticks out to me, there are a trilogy of Lopers on the team, and 2 of them are juniors and 1 is a senior, as there are twin brothers, but 3 of them playing here. Garrett Loper, number 2, in Grant Loper, number 24, 6'2" juniors leading this team. And when talking to Coach Williams, he knows that the Lopers, all 3 can play, and their older brother, Gavin, a 6'3" senior, number 3. And those are the players that make this team go for Coach Todd Milwee and the Westmore Jaguars. Tell us a little bit about what you know about them, Jamin, and watching them from this weekend.
We talking about Millwood Falcons?
No, the Loper brothers. Did you have the opportunity to see them at all?
I did not get a chance to see the Loper brothers. We were packing up for that first game, and they were playing a little bit, so I caught about 5 minutes. But what I did see is they took full advantage of a PCO team that didn't get off the bus ready to play. I mean, they came out here foot on the gas the whole time and held a substantial lead for the whole game. Yeah, that was day 1, and I've seen these 3 guys in action, and they just instinctively know where each other's going to be. You know, when you're a twin, of course you have a familial bond unlike any other teammate, and then when you have your older brother playing, of course you want to play and complement everything he's doing. I've watched these Loper brothers play here at Westmore for quite some time, and they are a thing to see, a thing to watch when they've got it going.
Coach Todd Milwee has one of the better teams in the state in Class 6A, and certainly we look for this to be an exciting game. Players to watch for the Millwood Falcons, of course, you know the names. You've heard them all over the place and multiple times. Why don't you talk a little bit about them, Jameis, for us?
All right, we got Zaire Fisher. He's been playing a lot of minutes, stepping in for injured Isaiah Wilkes, who's one of the do-it-all guys for the Falcons. I mean, Zaire, scrappy defender. Like we've talked about, Zon Williams, we didn't see him very much in the last game, fighting a couple things. Just wasn't his night, but look for him to ignite some excitement here for the Falcons as well. Amari Barrett, a great perimeter defender, as well as Chance Davis. And hopefully we see a little bit more Solomon Davis this game.
Solomon's going to have his hands cut for him, as this team two has some of the bigger post players. Yesterday he got pushed around a little bit by about 3'6", 320, Ebi Barte, and he had his hands full there in the post play. So we look for him to get things going and get righting the ship there. Those are some of the players to watch. Of course, AAN, Adrian Anderson Nelson, a good do-it-all player. And Christopher Clay came off the bench yesterday and had great energy for the Falcons, as we saw on full display most members of this squad tonight. Those are your players to watch that are brought to you by Super Prep. And certainly we thank Super Prep for their sponsorship of players to watch. As we get going forward here, about 2 minutes and 59 seconds before the start of the game, Keys to the Game, which is sponsored by Narissa Berry Insurance Company. Narissa Berry Insurance would like to help you get your best insurance coverage with the right price for your home, automobile, life insurance policy. Let her help you protect what's most important to you. Learn more by calling 405-547-0595. So, Jamin, give us the keys to the game for the Falcons.
I mean, foul trouble. I mean, we need to play great disciplined defense here. Again, we're playing a bigger size team, so you don't want to play too handsy. You don't want to get too physical. Great shot selection, of course. I mean, just not self-inflicted wounds. I mean, you're you're competing for a excuse me, I don't know, I'm a consolation. I don't want to mispronounce that word. I mean, they're competing for that. So you want to leave with that win. I mean, you're challenging yourself, and this will all pay dividends here in March when they compete for a gold ball. So just go out there and continue to compete.
Absolutely. Keys to the Game brought to you by Narissa Berry. Keys to the game for me, for the Falcons. Get started early. Don't fall behind. See something go in early and have some take that positive vibe from seeing shot selections and buckets go down, as they struggled with that on yesterday. And so to not have a lingering effect of yesterday, they need to see some shots go in and see those shots go down early. Those are Keys to the Game brought to you by Narissa Berry Insurance. Call Narissa Berry for all your insurance needs at 405-547-0595. Well, we've talked about the keys to the game, players to watch, and all the things that go on with that. We thanked our sponsors. We're just about 1 minute and 22 seconds before the tip-off, and we'll have starting lineups for you and everything like that coming around once we get to that. Again, I want to thank our sponsors. Title sponsors are SSM Health, Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores, Sunbeam Family Services, Millwood Enrichment Foundation, First Security Bank, A+ Lawn Services, Big O's Pork and Dreams, Chris and Christy Harrison's Heritage Funeral Home, David Three's Hair Cafe and Cosmetology School, Wing Supreme, Narissa Berry Insurance Agency, Love Student of the Month, Super Prep, Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company. We certainly thank them for their patronage and sponsorship of tonight's contest. We'll take a quick break, come back on the other side. You're listening to Millwood Basketball, sponsored by SSM Health, Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and I want you to tune in to my show, Super Prep Live.
Super Prep Live takes an in-depth look at the Oklahoma high school student athlete and what makes he or she become great at what they do. Super Prep Live can be heard on OKC's CBS Sports Radio 105.3 and Instagram Live.
Make sure you tune in and learn about the next great student athlete on Super Prep Live with me, Miles Perry.
And once again, welcome back inside the field house here at Douglas H. Frederick Fieldhouse Sports Complex on the campus of Moore High School, Moore, Oklahoma, for this John Nobles Invitational Tournament Consolation Finals Championship game. Consolation champion. Starting lineup for the Falcons Number 0, Zaire Fisher. Number 1, Zon Williams. Number 3, Amari Barrett. Number 11, Chance Davis. And at post, the big guy, Solomon Davis. Starting 5 for the Millwood Falcons and Coach Dorian Williams. The home team on the scoreboard will be the Westmore Jaguars, and their starting lineup, number 2, Garrett Loper. No surprise there. Number 3, his brother, Gavin Loper, a 6'4" sophomore. Number 23, Ian Dunkar. And number 24, Grant Loper. And number 44 in the post, Zane Zilney. So the players to watch, 3 of the players that we said to watch are in the starting lineup, the 3 Loper brothers. And Dunkar and Zilney will be the starting 5. Officials for the night's game, Randy Music, Charles Leak, and Derek Grady. Those officials are certified by the Oklahoma Secondary Activities Association and assigned by the commissioner of the COAC Conference, a gentleman that I know pretty well.
Yeah, me too.
And he just happens to be the guy that's talking to you right now. A solid crew tonight for this game as we look forward to everything it has to offer as the Millwood Falcons, 3A Falcons, take on the 6A Westmore Jaguars. And we're just about ready. You're here, I'm here. Referee Derek Grady says, let's get this thing started. The toss is controlled by the Falcons. And they'll have the first opportunity as Zaire brings the ball across the division line. And the Falcons look to get into motion offense. Falcons clad in their blue with red piping away jerseys. Solomon Davis out the top. Zon on the wing, drives in, and the ball gets tipped away. No shot there, no foul on the play. Amari Barrett pressures in the backcourt and pressuring up on Grant Loper. Grant Loper, the junior twin brother of Garrett Loper, younger brother of Gavin Loper. The shot up and no good. Rebound off to the Falcons, and Chance Davis looks to run to the front court, pops for an 18-footer and knocks it down. The Falcons take the 2-0 lead on a good-looking shot there by Chance Davis. Made his mind up, stopped and popped, and put the Falcons on the scoreboard.
Great job being decisive early.
Yeah, he had it made up in his mind that he was going to do with that, and the defense didn't stop him, and he took advantage of that as Loper falls to the floor and is able to get the ball out to Dungar. Dungar back out to the wing. Loper takes a 3, no good. Younger brother rebounds. Gavin Loper, and the Falcons are off and running again. Zon Williams straight in, and there's going to be a whistle and an offensive foul call, rightly so, as he took it right to the torso of the defender, Garrett Loper. So the first team foul against the Falcons, and that's the first foul on Zon Williams, the second.
I mean, he's a downhill player, you know. Some of those plays you're going to have to live with.
Yeah, that would be, he'd been better suited to stop and pop, take 11, 12-footer, even an 8-footer. Zon goes up high and tips the ball away as the Falcons have deployed a man-to-man defense. For those of you who are tuning in and maybe not having your eyes on your television now, the divisional AFC playoff game, Baltimore and Houston, the Ravens now lead 24-10. Backcourt pressure, full court for the Falcons. This ball's brought across the division line by one of the Lopers, the Loper trio. Loper to Loper, out to Dunker. Dunker takes a long 3 and he knocks it down. Ivan Dunker with the 3 gives the Jags a 1-point lead here, 5:59 remaining here in the first quarter play early on. Day number 3, consolation finals. The John Nobles Invitational Tournament, Dwayne Doolittle, Shaman Dawson. Tonight's game sponsored by SSM Health, Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores. Thank them for their support. Millwood Athletics. Solomon Davis at the top of the key, loses it. Zon turns the corner, goes up, falls down, and gets the travel call, another turnover by Zon. And so maybe some leftover fatigue, memory lapse, of yesterday for Zahn. Now has got 2 turnovers, a foul and a traveling violation. And the Jaguars go up again. Donkar working hard there at the rim, got his own rebound. And now that's a 5-2 lead for the Westmore Jaguars. Ball tipped out of bounds as the Falcons will retain possession in the front court. Fisher with the ball near the division line. Table side, turns, looks, drives to the near side, opposite table. Solomon Davis gives him a screen there as the Falcons are going horn. Zaire there, Chance Davis flashing up as
tried to run the elevator screen there.
Davis, Barrett turns the corner, goes up, scoops in, and scores.
Nice job using that left hand on the left side.
Amari Barrett going left, shooting left, scoring for the Falcons, who trail now 4-5 early on. A traveling violation called against the Jaguars. 4:38. And so we're already encouraged by the first quarter output for the Falcons as they've doubled their scores from last game in the first quarter and trail by 1 point now. Fisher looks to penetrate, stops and takes a deep 3. Shot no good. I'd like to see that get into a better offensive rhythm right there than taking that shot. You know, we had that shot that was available to us as soon as we got off the bus.
Right, you don't want to take too many jumpers you don't have to. You want to get the ball inside and be efficient as possible.
And so just like that, the same shot is taken by Gavin Loper. Rebound to the Falcons who bring the ball into the front court. Barrett near side. Hezzy steps, throws to the corner. Zahn for 3. Shot no good. He's got to have a short memory here.
You've got to have a short memory. A game like last and getting in some early trouble today, you just got to shake it off, keep your head up, keep going.
Yeah, make the next shot. Loper from a deep on a 3-point shot. Shot no good. And last touch by the Falcons. And it will be Westmore basketball. Substitutions into the game for the Falcons. Number 35, Bradshaw, along with number 5, Christopher Clay. Out is Zahn Williams and Solomon Davis. Ball inbounded to the corner by the Jaguars. And a turnover taken away by the Falcons as we look to push into the front court. 1 turnover each for both teams.
That was a good defensive read by Chance Davis. Getting the ball, orchestrating that down.
Bradshaw.
Nice move by the freshman.
Bradshaw. Mama. He's been sitting around standing, waiting his turn, and the coach has called his number, and he's producing. Had good minutes on yesterday as well, and comes in here and scores his first basket, and that's a good sign. Goes and plays defense and changes and alters the shot there. However, the rebound goes back to the Jaguars. Bradshaw gets caught up in the crossover and deep to the corner for Donkar, and he's there and knocks down his second 3. And so the adjustments need to be made with that. And a turnover by the Falcons. 8-6, 2 minutes and 46 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. One-two-two pressure for the Falcons, looking to turn the ball over. Oh, that's a double dribble. Ball into the corner. A deep 3 shot, no good. Donkar's there, and he cleans up the miss. And he has all of the points for the Jaguars. Barrett to the rim, shot no good, comes off. Attempts to steal and nearly stolen. Loper to the corner to his brother, the non-twin, Donkar. Back to Loper. Loper out to number 25, who is Chase Robinson, who knocks down a 3-point shot for the Jaguars. Zaire Fisher goes coast to coast for 2.
Getting in the paint very easily.
This will be a get into the paint type of game. So we've got 2 different contrasting styles as the Jaguars go inside out, and then the Falcons go inside. Donkar looks to take the ball to the rim, and scores again. Check that. That's Thomas for his first 2 points.
Christopher Clay eyes a 3-ball.
Clay knocks down the 3, and that's a good sign for the Falcons. 15-11 is the score. Substitution into the game as we're waiting to see what's happening here, as the officials are instructing the players to tuck their shirts in, and there was a substitution as Fisher goes to the bench for the Falcons. Into the game for him is number 12, AAN, Adrian Anderson Nelson.
Donovan Knight out there for the Falcons.
Number 20, Donovan Knight, holding the Loper twin, that's Garrett. Ball pushed around outside, swung to the corner, and tipped by the Falcons. 55.2 seconds remaining. And so immediate dividends on yesterday's play, as the Falcons defense is showing itself and its moxie. And a violation by the Jaguars. Turnover goes to the Falcons. 53.6 seconds, Falcons down by 4, trail 15-11 here on this first quarter of the third day of the consolation finals of the John Nobles Invitational Tournament here at Moore High School.
It's a relatively young lineup Coach Williams has out there right now.
We'll check that and get that with you. Barrett is fouled on the play by number 24, Grant Loper, the junior. It's the first team foul for them, as these officials are letting them play, and whatever that looks like. Ball inbounded to Clay. Play call from the coach, 3. And a pass to Bradshaw. Mishandles the pass, picks it up, wheels and deals, passes back out, and there's a turnover. AAN. Ball tipped away by the Falcons, 23.5 seconds remaining. Substitutions into the game for the Jaguars. Number 44, Zane Zilney. Out of the game, number 20, Jaden Thomas. Full court pressure. The double comes. Donovan Knight comes up. Pass the ball to one corner to Loper. Loper to the deep corner to 25.
Great
Shot
closeout by Christopher Clay.
Shot no good. Ball last touched by the Falcons. Chase Robinson shot the last 3 for the Jaguars. It'll be their ball underneath the Millwood goal. 9.2 seconds remaining, inbounded to the Loper brother. Number 2, Garrett Loper knocks down the 3.
And that's something to watch there. Number 25 for the Jaguars, Chase Robinson. He's camping out there in that right corner. He's
standing there waiting for a blessing to come, and they found him a few times, and he's been able to knock down the shot. That's the end of the first quarter. The Falcons trail 18-11. You're listening to Millwood Basketball, sponsored by SSM Health, Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores. We'll be back on the other side of the break. Back here the third night of the John Nobles Invitational, checking the number of viewers, and we certainly appreciate those of you who are watching, those of you who have tuned in. We hope you come back. Tell a friend to tell a friend that on PPBC TV the Falcons are playing basketball And the Falcons are playing the Westmore Jaguars as Donkar takes a long three, no good. And there's a foul on the rebound. That's going to be against Bradshaw, his first personal foul. And his first team foul of the second quarter.
Going for the ball, just a little too handsy there by Bradshaw.
Bradshaw grabbed him first before he grabbed the ball. That's definitely the truth there. It'll be Westmore basketball under their own goal, ball deep to the Loper brother, the older of the Lopers, or the twin, Grant Loper, the junior, to his twin brother. And then the shot there and the rebound. There are Lopers everywhere. Donkar looks at a three, dribbles, passes off to Gavin Loper. Loper back to Donkar, and an offensive foul as the defense was set there. A good bit of rotation there by Zaire Fisher, and the foul is on number 23, Donkar, his first personal. As a side note, he had 10 points in the first quarter, and so whatever we can do to get him cooled off will be certainly much appreciated. Zaire Fisher in the backcourt, Loper all over him, into the corner, Donovan Knight back to Fisher. Fisher looks deep under the goal for AAN, and the ball's tipped away by the Jaguars.
Great vision by Zaire Fisher, seeing an open man down low.
So I'm loving the energy that Bradshaw's giving Coach Williams here, is coming into the game looking to have a post presence. Fisher looks at a three, not there. Defense closes out, skips to Knight. Knight back out top to Nelson. Fisher for the three from the near side, left side. Shot no good, rebounded off to Garrett Loper. And Grant Loper takes it into the front court. Pass intended underneath for another Loper. And Donovan Knight there to break that up, knocking the ball out of bounds. Ball worked around the edge out to Donkar. He misses the shot, however, the rebound is collected by the Jaguars, who set up the offense. Outside in, and maybe a travel there, maybe a trip, and nothing called, no harm, no foul. And they're looking at another three.
And he gets rewarded.
This time Garrett Loper knocks down his second three of the night. And an offensive foul called on the play in transition for Bradshaw, who was nimble of foot coming down. However, the defense was there and ready for that. And so the offensive foul. Ball goes back to the Jaguars, who lead by 10. 6 minutes remaining before halftime. Williams, Davis, and a foul called on the floor. And that foul is going to be called against the Jaguars.
Zane Zilny.
Number 44, Zane Zilny. His first personal foul. And that's the second team foul of the quarter for the Jaguars. Fisher brings the ball across the timeline, looks up to Bradshaw. Bradshaw to Williams. Williams takes a shot, and there's a foul on the play. As
Great
Williams,
ball movement there.
Yeah, Williams' shot was just a little short. Garrett Loper, his first personal third team foul. Zon Williams at the line with an opportunity to see something go down that's not pressured.
Right, and pay attention to Coach Williams drawing the other four Falcons on the court, drawing up a play. Look to see what's going on.
First shot by Williams is good, and that's a great sign for the Falcon faithful. Second shot is true and through. So Zon's on the scoreboard with 2 points, and the Falcons trail now by 8 points by the new math, and that would be the old math too. Bradshaw in the defense in the post. Good presence, good switch. Bradshaw's coming out with the hedge. Fisher defending the ball. Gavin Loper to Garrett Loper, Grant Loper. back cut. Dunkar looks to change, drive to the goal. Good defense there by the Falcons.
Everybody staying home.
Falcons retain the possession of the ball. Zon Williams goes hard to the goal, goes up, scoops, and scores. It's a great sign for Zon. He saw something go in on the free throw line, and a timeout taken here on the floor by the Falcons. It's a 30-second timeout. So already some positive things are coming into effect here. The Falcons trail by 6 now early into the second quarter of play, which is a great sign based upon what we saw on yesterday. They've figured some things out, had some success. Got to do a little better job of rebounding here. And part of the keys to the game was don't get behind early. Stay engaged, score early, see something going in. It's a good sign for Zon, who struggled on yesterday and was able to come out here today so far and has got 4 points. And yesterday was totally different for him in that regard, as he scored only 1 point in the loss to the Moore Lions.
Right, good to see him get out there on that break. Donovan Knight keeping possession of the ball, sliding on the grounds. Crafty layup by Zon.
After the timeout taken by the Falcons, defensively, again, pressure defense, and that's a signature of Coach Williams, as the ball was last touched by the Jaguars. Bubba Davis set to come back into the game for the Falcons, replacing Solomon Davis. And so maybe we should call Mo Prince and tell him, hey, the more we do this, the better we are with these names. Keep it going so we don't have to rename them or remember them again.
Hey, I agree, 100%.
Zon brings the ball across the top. High screen from Bradshaw. Bradshaw over to Barrett, who had a great game on yesterday, stepped up mightily for this team. Zon looks to turn, goes around one, and a blocking foul as he's still aggressively minded, looking to get to the rim.
Right, just got chipped a little bit there. Good call.
Foul on the play, number 44, Zelny, his second personal foul, and that is the second team foul, fourth team foul of the quarter against the Jaguars. Millwood basketball. Ball triggered in to Chance Bubba Davis out across the third-point line. Bubba drives in, shot just won't fall, hits the back of the iron, and pops out. Rebound, Donkar for the Jaguars. Donkar still with the ball, pressured by Davis, or Chance Davis, that is, Bubba Davis.
Millwood playing man.
Man-to-man defense again. And that's the look for the Falcons, as the shot is challenged, and Donkar is up for the challenge, and he's able to get that to go down.
Donkar is one of the bigger players on the court, really imposing his will in the paint.
Timeout on the floor, a 30-second timeout taken by the Jaguars. So each team is taking a timeout early after a shot, after a possession, after a made basket, and to regather things, as there's a 8-point lead now for the what's the team name? That's the Westmore Jaguars. We've got an 8-point lead now as we're late in the day. And so those of you who were just now tuning in, we've been here since 1 o'clock this afternoon, where the Lady Falcons fell hard to the Bixby Spartans and have gone 0 for 3 here in this tournament. And so that's the Millwood model. Come in, play bigger talent, 6'8" talent, I should say, not necessarily bigger, but more bigger, more bigs to choose from, and come in along this way, and then learn and take what you've learned here into March and push that towards the gold ball season. We've seen it time and time again out of this Millwood Falcon ball club, both men and women.
And it's about skill, but it helps so much mentally, because you have to overcome certain things. You don't know what's to come, but you have to be ready for anything coming possible, and especially when gold ball is at stake, it's win or go home.
Chance Davis loses the ball. Donkar on defense. Zon drives in, and Bradshaw.
Strong putback.
Oh, mama. Bradshaw said, put me in, coach. Put me in, and he's making the most of it. The foul's on the big guy, Zelny. That's his third personal, so we're not going to see much of him much longer. Bradshaw goes to the line, shoots one, and he knocks it down. And so Bradshaw's making a statement, coach, look what I can do.
Right, I mean, good challenge facing Zelny in that matchup there.
He's getting the best of it now. Zelny's out on the bench, and so Bradshaw, with 2 fouls of his own, has an opportunity now to impose his will in the post. And a three-point shot by number 25, Chase Robinson, is good for the Jaguars.
His second 3 of the day. He's proven to be the three-point specialist for these Jaguars.
Fisher wheels, deals, can't get past the defense, brings the ball back out top. Bradshaw sets a screen. And the hesitation move for Zaire, up and under. Out to Bubba Davis. Davis over to Barrett. Calls for the screen for Bradshaw. Shoots over the top of it. Three-point shot, no good. Donkar off and running. And the ball's touched and knocked away as, Jaden Thomas had a head full of steam going towards the goal. Discussion by the officiating crew, and we'll stay where we are on the possession. Loper for 3, no good. Ball tipped by Bradshaw, controlled by Bradshaw, up to Barrett, into the corner, and reset the offense out to Fisher, into Bradshaw. Bradshaw over the wing to Zahn. Zahn brings the ball out as Bradshaw looks to set a screen for him. Zahn pops into the corner for Fisher. Fisher hezzy up and goes in, and shot no good. And rebound Thomas as the Jaguars are off and running. Ball out top again to number 24, Grant Loper. Loper to the corner to his brother. I think that's the easiest way to say that, to his brother. Chance Davis sticks his hand in and causes the turnover, and the Falcons are on offense again. Zon Williams in and gets a layup.
He gets rewarded for that steal. Good job, Amari Barrett, finding a good man down low.
So the benching on yesterday for Zahn is paying dividends for Coach Williams, as he just sat his young superstar down and said, listen, every night's not going to be your night. And that's a steal by the Falcons, and a lot of contact as there's a three-point shot, and Donkar looks to go up, and he gets pushed in the back by Bubba Davis.
BDL, dude. BDL.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. And usually when they say that, as we're watching the divisional playoff game, and the Ravens have just scored again to make the score 30-10 over the Texans. Number 20, Thomas, at the line, shoots the first free throw, and it goes in. 27-20, awaiting the next free throw is Thomas. Second shot, no good. Rebound, Bubba Davis. Falcons pressing up the floor. Davis still on the move and gets bumped by Gavin Loper. And those of you just tuning in, that'll be the 5th team foul, and Bubba Davis will go to the line. And so for those of you just tuning in, there will be a lot of mentions of Lopers. There's a Garrett Loper, a Gavin Loper, and a Grant Loper, 2 of which are twins, and 1 is the older brother. 2 juniors, 1 senior, and they were in the starting lineup as Bubba Davis knocks down the first free throw.
As the third brother enters the game.
The aforementioned Loper. And so there are 3 Lopers, and I can tell you, if you've never seen them play, there's nothing loping about their game. Davis, second free throw, good. 27-22, Jaguars. Grant Loper, Zon Williams in defense. Grant brings the ball across the timeline, out to his other brother, Gavin Loper, who knocks down the 3. The Loper to Loper connection.
You got to stop those Lopers. I mean, they're getting it going with those jumpers.
And there's a foul on the play on Donkar. That'll be his 2nd personal foul. Solomon Davis will be at the line to shoot a pair. And I'd like to see Solomon get something knocked going for himself here.
Right, like we mentioned earlier, not too much action in the last game, but good job getting to the stripe. Good to see something go in.
First free throw by Solomon's no good. Coming off a 2-point performance on last night. second free throw. It's good. 1 of 2 for Davis. Takes the score to 23-30 in favor of the Westmore Jaguars. Gavin Loper to Garrett Loper.
A great job staying in the air. I mean, he's moving pretty fast. Solomon Davis steps out of bounds.
That's a turnover for the Falcons. Their 4th turnover of the night. 49.4 seconds remaining before halftime. Remind you, halftime is sponsored by the Millwood Enrichment Foundation, and they're raising $25,000 to help students and teachers. You too can be a part of the process and help out this crown jewel. The ball taken away and turned over and then taken away again. Fisher, Davis, 27 seconds. Zahn, Bubba Davis, and a foul call. Grant Loper, his 2nd personal. Bubba Davis will be at the line shooting 2. .4 seconds remaining before intermission. Bubba Davis at the line, 1st of 2, and it's good. Davis awaits the second. It too is good.
Millwood Falcons have to continue to be active playing that perimeter defense as those few threes by the Westmore Jaguars have extended their lead.
The last 5 points for the Falcons have come to the free throw line. Westmore into the front court, skips, ball tipped away, Bubba Davis, 10.1 seconds. Falcons trailing now by 7 points, 10.1 here on this consolation final championship game of the John Nobles Invitational Tournament, formerly known as the Moore Invitational. And there's a foul on the play by Zaire Fisher, his 1st personal foul, 4th team foul. And so things are all good for the Falcons, who had a foul to give. Ball be taken out on the opposite table, 28-foot line. Loper drives in with the left hand, no good. Jump ball. And the possession arrow favors the Falcons, 3.1 seconds. Bradshaw checking back into the game for Davis. Bubba Davis for 3, and it goes in. Put 3 points on the board for the Falcons as Bubba Davis beats the buzzer and knocks down the 3-point shot. And that spark of energy will take us to halftime, where the Falcons trail now by 4 points on the made 3-point shot at the bucket at the buzzer by Bubba Davis. Whoa, mama, that changes things as you come out now only down 4 versus 7, and that could be the boost of energy that the Falcons need. We're at halftime, and halftime is sponsored by the Millwood Enrichment Foundation. We'll take a quick break, come back on the other side with stats information for you and ways you can help participate in helping the Millwood Enrichment Foundation. I'm Dwayne Doolittle. He's Jamin Dawson. You're at the NIT. This is not Norman. This is the Moore John Nobles Invitation.
JNT.
Right now during the Millwood
Man, it's been a long weekend.
Today
We'll be back.
got one more half, dude.
We've got 16 more minutes to figure out if we're going to be the consolation champion. You're right. We'll take a quick break, come back on the inside. You're listening to Millwood Basketball, sponsored by SSM Health and Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores.
Oklahoma City, we're live right now during the Millwood Falcons broadcast. And today we have Mr. Milo Wilson. Mr. Wilson, how are you doing?
I'm great. And yourself, sir?
Give us that great title of yours representing Millwood in what capacity?
I am the Millwood Enrichment Foundation president. Also the Millwood Oklahoma City School Board vice president.
Wonderful. Well, right now I know you represent the Enrichment Foundation, raising money. The goal is $25,000 Tell me, what is that $25,000 going to go towards?
I'm gonna make you a promise. Each dollar that we raise will go towards our scholarships, towards our students, as well as our teacher needs.
Well, if they would like to make a donation of any kind, where should they go right now?
Right now, Cash App Millwood Enrich OKC. That is Millwood Enrich OKC, MILLWOOD ENRICH OKC.
Wonderful, and we look forward to seeing everyone reach that $25,000 goal. And you have a great day.
Thank you.
And welcome back to the John Noble's Invitational Tournament. Dwayne Doolittle, Jamin Dawson, Langston Shirley. He's going to get a visual of us up here as quickly as he can, and you'll be able to see us. But now we'll talk about the Millwood Enrichment Foundation is raising $25,000 to help take care of their teachers and scholarships for the Millwood students, help make a positive difference in investing in our jewel institution, the Millwood Public Schools. You can make a contribution at Cash App, Millwood Enrich OKC. That's Cash App, Millwood Enrich OKC. So halftime statistics, and we'll talk quickly. Leading scorers for the Falcons, Chance Bubba Davis with 9 points. Zon Williams, the second, with 6 points, which is a great sign for him. Bradshaw comes in and has 3 points off the bench, along with Christopher Clay with 3 points, Amari Barrett with 2. That rounds out the scoring with Solomon Davis with 1. For the Jaguars, leading scorer for the Jaguars is Ivan Dunkar. He's got 13 points, 12 points at the break. 6 points for Chase Robinson on 2 made threes. Jaden Thomas with 3 points. Gavin Loper with 3. And his brother, Garrett Loper, with 8. And those are the scorers. And this, as we get ready to start the second half of action, it's Westmore basketball as they push into the front court. Tough defense being deployed by the Falcons again. Zaire Fisher up guarding. Zon Williams back defending, and the ball's tipped away and into the hands of the Jaguars. And a long deep three for number 3, Gavin Loper.
One of those keys to the game sticking out right there is rebound. If we get that rebound, we don't give them a second chance to get it, take it back out.
Absolutely, that's the key to the game. Davis, Zon Williams with the ball into the corner of Barrett. Barrett had a great game yesterday as he was leaned on heavily and produced. Was able to get to the rim as he goes in now. Shot no good. Rebounded by a trio of Jaguars who lead 35-28, a 7-point lead. Ball taken away by Fisher. Down to Bubba Davis, who gets tipped and kicked. However, no foul is called, and he scores another 2 for his game high 11 points for the Falcons.
Did a good job baiting his defender.
That gets there and hit fakes. A 5-point contest as the Falcons go around Dunkar for the wing, and he knocks down another 3.
I mean, that's money. Very decisive player, one of the bigger skilled players for the Westmore Jaguars.
Yeah, Dunkar's done that before. Shot for the Falcons, no good. Rebound to the Jaguars, who are back into the front court, leading 38-30. Davis on skates. Loper to Loper. Loper gets to the rim, no good. Rebound, Fisher pushes up immediately to Barrett. Barrett's off and running to the rim, gets bumped. Ball doesn't go in. Bubba Davis is there for the rebound. He gets the foul call, and it'll be Falcon basketball under the goal.
Somebody gets the foul call. Barrett doesn't get it, then Davis will.
Zelny picks up his 4th foul, and that's a great sign for the post presence for the Falcons as his night is close to ending. And so he'll be playing Ole defense. You do know what Ole defense is, don't you?
Nah, school me.
Ole, 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 Ole. He's not holding anybody.
I got it.
Yeah, he's going to be a matador. He's going to turn and let you go, because if not, he's going to be on the bench. And Bradshaw, we need to get a play isolation for Bradshaw where he can go at him and maybe get that 5th foul. We don't have to worry about seeing him anymore. Bubba Davis on the screen from Bradshaw. Bubba takes the long 3. Shot no good. Rebound. Jaguars. Loper, number 24, pushes the ball up to the front court. Out to Dunkar, who takes a long 3. Shot no good. Barrett, the rebound. Off to Fisher. Fisher looks down, crosses over, across the division line. Near side back to Barrett. Barrett sets his feet, and a travel violation is called, and that's a turnover for the Falcons.
Tried to collect himself when he got the ball at the top of the key. Stops and takes off. Ref immediately calls the travel.
Yeah, it's pretty much textbook. Jump, stop, step, stutter step. And the travel call rightfully called there. A turnover. 4:56 remaining. Third quarter of play. Jaguars by 8. Loper looks to spin, goes up, and gets fouled.
Easily works his way around 2 defenders to get in the paint, try to contest, base him into the foul.
Bubba Davis guilty of his first foul in the second half. His second personal foul, first team foul, I should say. 4:44. And number 3, Gavin Loper at the free throw line for 2. First shot, no good. Second shot rolls in. 39-30. Jaguars. Fisher calls for the screen there. Bradshaw, the post, and gets wrapped around. That's a turnover.
Yeah, Bradshaw asks for that ball down low. Doesn't see that defender
Davis.
creep up in front of him.
Loper.
Got an 11-point game here now.
So the Falcons need to get on the offensive end as they're now down double digits first time tonight. Weave out top. Davis spins and goes in left-handed.
Great job
scoops.
embracing that contact.
And Davis will get the bucket. Timeout taken by Coach Williams. It's a 60-second timeout. We'll take it with him. And you're listening to Millwood Basketball, sponsored by SSM Health, Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores. We'll be back on the other side.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and I want you to tune in to my show, Super Prep Live.
Super Prep Live takes an in-depth look at the Oklahoma high school student athlete and what makes he or she become great at what they do. Super Prep Live can be heard on OKC's CBS Sports Radio 105.3 and Instagram Live.
Make sure you tune in and learn about the next great student athlete on Super Prep Live with me, Miles Perry.
This timeout is brought to you by A+ Lawn Service. Would you like to have your home lawn or business lawn look green, full, and healthy? Then call the professionals at A+ Lawn Service. Owner Milo Wilson and his staff will take great care of you. Just call for an appointment today at 405-535-5139. A+ Lawn Service. This time recap brought to you by them. 3 minutes and 58 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and the Falcons trail by 9 here at this consolation championship final of the John Nobles Invitational Tournament here on the campus of Moore High School and on the Douglas H. Frederick Sports Complex. You see what they did with that? The Douglas H. Frederick.
Ain't slick.
Not the Frederick A. Douglass. See, they got the Big Mac. We've got the Big Mick. Some of you out there will get that on the way home. Post play, Dunkar.
Is that the sneaky McDowell's there?
Huh?
Is that McDowell's?
That's McDowell's.
Okay,
yeah.
There we go.
Zaire,
I redeemed myself from earlier.
There you go. There you go. On the play, a headsy play by Zaire Fisher, who swings around the outside and takes the ball away from Dunkar. And ball gets knocked away. And it'll be Falcon basketball. Fisher looks to turn the corner on Loper, jumps in the air and gets bumped and still bumped. And finally a foul call there. And that's going to go against number 2. Garrett Loper.
Rightfully so, trying to swipe that ball away from Zaire Fisher.
You know, headsy players and players with high IQs take chances and risks, and it's a high risk, high reward. They know how to get through it, and in this instance, Coach Milwee wanted an explanation as to what that call was, and I believe he got it. Zahn in the inbounds pass from Fisher to Zahn Williams, and Zahn gets his first 2 of the second half. A timely 2, I might add. 34-41.
Good execution there on that inbound play.
That's a blocking foul. As Christopher Clay slid over in front of the driving Loper.
Christopher Clay, he got that key charge in the Ada game, but just couldn't get his feet set right there.
Yeah, just a little late arriving on that to the party there and before the shot. And so it'll be Jaguar basketball out of bounds. Ball inbounded to Thomas, out to Loper, the top of the key. Loper drives, back out to his brother, Loper. Looking for Thomas on the wing, back to Loper. It's a Loper to Loper to Loper connection. And
you knew that
Loper.
chemistry would prevail at some point in this game. Not prevail per se, but at least
it's going to show up.
Absolutely.
Loper to Loper to Loper. Fisher with the ball out front, screen for Bradshaw. Bradshaw touches it and tips it, and it goes out of bounds. It's a turnover. The divisional game in Baltimore has ended, and the Ravens are victorious over the Houston Texans, who had a good run. First-year head coach Murray and C.J. Stroud did well for the Texans.
I mean, best story in sports. I mean, on the field, you got the leading passer, you got the MVP candidate, and offensive rookie of the year. So good matchup there.
You said leading passing candidate. I thought you were talking about Dak Prescott.
I mean, he didn't do nothing with it.
Did not. Took it home with him. And a long ball saved by Loper out to Donkar, and a ball out of bounds. Last touch by the Falcons. 1:58 remaining as Coach Williams is imploring the officials, no, it's our ball, as he's nearly 50 feet away. It's amazing what you can see the other team do from a long distance. Zon Williams checks out of the ball game. Into the game, Clay on the floor for the Falcons. Number 10, Presley Jr., Mark Presley Jr. Number 5, Christopher Clay. Fisher. Oh my goodness, lots and lots of contact here. Clay, Fisher, Presley, Bradshaw, Bubba Davis. The 5 on the floor for the Falcons. Ball inbounded to the Jaguars. Loper to his twin brother, Loper. And Thomas, ball's taken away, and the Falcons are off and running. Bubba Davis out on the wing, goes in and drives in, and that's going to be a player control foul. Garrett Loper, in defense for the Jaguars, was able to come back, get set, establish the legal deep guarding position, and took the charge there, taking away an opportunity to score by the Falcons. Into the front court, Bradshaw in defense. Fisher
bumps him out there on the closeout.
4th team foul for the Falcons. Fisher just wasn't able to get there in time and not establish legal guarding position. Fisher's handsy there, and that no foul call there on that play. Ball nearly turned over, tapped away, and that is going to be a turnover by the Falcons, as number 3, Gavin Loper, was in the immediate area and pesting a big pest for the would-be receiver in Davis. 1:08 in the third quarter. Gavin Loper brings the ball up for the Jaguars into the lane, dishes to the corner. Chase Robinson back to Loper, being played by Presley. The other Loper, Garrett Loper, to the rim for 2. The 11-point lead, 38 seconds remaining in the quarter. Fisher giving directions. Bubba Davis out top, crosses over, gets bumped out near the 3-point line. Gavin Loper picks up his 2nd personal foul. Looking to the official, Randy Music, for explanation.
I mean, it's just a physical game. That foul being one of them, that being the next.
Christopher Clay is guilty of a push-off as number 2 Loper. Those guys have high basketball IQ. I can't overstate that. Basketball IQ is something that will take you further than talent will, because the game of basketball is 90% mental. 90% mental. You can outthink your opponent, you can beat your opponent. Only 10% physical. Loper, foul on the play. Mark Presley Jr., his first personal. That'll be the 5th team foul against the Falcons. Garrett Loper to the line to shoot 2 free throws. First free throw is good. Awaits the second as substitutions come into the game for the Jaguars. Loper, second free throw, good. 47-34, 8 seconds remaining. Bubba Davis with the ball out top, looks to go, loses the ball. Fisher to Bubba Davis, shot at the buzzer, no good. So in a quarter that the Falcons were only able to score 4 points while giving up 14 points. And when you're trailing at the half, any deficit will only lead to a bigger deficit. They're down now by 7 points. So we'll take a quick break, come back on the other side. You're listening to Millwood Basketball, sponsored by SSM Health, Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores. We'll be back on the other side. And we're back here in the 4th quarter of action. Quarter recap brought to you by First Security Bank. That's the quarter where the Falcons were outscored 14-6 by the Jaguars. And the opening possession for the Falcons yields no points as their shot was taken and rebounded. And Loper into the corner. Robinson, Loper, Robinson, Loper, not the same Loper. Number 2 Loper. Garrett Loper knocks down a 3.
They do a great job sharing the basketball.
50-34 is the score, as the Falcons now down 16 here in the 4th quarter of play, the John Noble's Invitational Tournament. Bradshaw powers in on a nice move, gets the bucket.
Way to go up strong and kiss that off the glass.
Falcon fans, I know you've been here before. All is not lost just because your Falcons are losing.
I mean, we were here in this position yesterday.
We were here in this position yesterday. We were in this position last year and the year before that. And the previous 2 years, the season ended with the hoisting of the gold ball. Substitutions into the game for the Falcons. Number 1, Zon Williams. Out is Fisher, Clay, and Mark Presley. Barrett, Bradshaw, Williams.
And Josiah Mays, his
Josiah
first shot
Mays.
attempt is off.
Mays into the game. So Mays, Barrett, Williams, Bradshaw, and Knight on the floor for the Falcons. Falcons trail now by 14 points. Pass taken away by Amani Barrett. Up to Zahn. Zahn drives in, leans in, gets the kiss off the glass.
Great job initiating contact, hanging in the air.
A nice move by Zahn. Good rebounding game with 10 points at this point after not faring well on yesterday. Substitution in the game, number 21 for the Jaguars, Finn Frisbee. Yep, you heard me, Finn Frisbee. Ball nearly taken away by the Falcons.
Coach Williams got some fresh legs out there. Josiah Mays and Donovan Knight checked back into the game.
Looking for a spark of energy, and they had it on yesterday, down 12 now, 5:48. And what I learned while watching this team, that no lead is safe as long as you can play defense. Shot by number 2, Loper. Ball tipped out of bounds by the Falcons as Coach Williams is telling his team to rebound. Loper for 3.
It's money.
Garrett Loper, 3.
Garrett specifically really lighting it up.
Tray ball. Fisher drives in, gets bumped, goes to the rim. Ball goes in. 2 points for Zaire Fisher.
Good job staying aggressive by Zaire.
Garrett Loper called for his 3rd personal foul. Zaire got downhill real quick. Used his speed and athleticism to get to the rim. Got bumped, and looking at the conventional three-point play coming. Fisher's shot is good. So Zaire completes the three-point play. Timeout taken on the floor by the Falcons. This timeout brought to you by A+ Lawn Services. If you like your lawn or home lawn or business lawn to look good, on my mama, on my hood, my yard looks fly, my yard looks good. Call Milo Wilson. His staff will take great care of you. For an appointment, call 535-5139. Now, for those of you who are not here present, if you could have just seen the look that I got from Langston when I said, on my mama, on my hood.
Hey, call somebody else. I wish you would.
I wish you would. Call Milo Wilson, A+ Lawn Services. He can get it done for you. So the Falcons trail now by 12 points, 5 minutes and 17 seconds remaining here as we're watching the post-game ceremony in Baltimore, and Coach Harbaugh, as the Harbaugh brothers are getting it done collegiately and in the NFL, and as the older brother has an opportunity now to go back to the NFL to coach after winning a national championship at Michigan.
His interview with the Chargers. I believe he's interviewing with the Falcons next week.
Yes, those are the 2 clubs that are highly interested in him. I wish that Cowboys would call him or somebody. Back to action here as the pressure has picked up. Nearly a steal by Mays as the scramble drill to the corner, and Thomas knocks down a 3. And a turnover by the Falcons. Ten turnovers to this point for the Falcons. Falcon family, all is not lost, as we've been in this position before, and I say we, collectively. I am an adopted Falcon, honorary, I should say, as the Falcon broadcasts are where I find myself cheering for the Falcons most of the time, as they're here now struggling, and Thomas knocks down another 3. (59-41). 18 is a deficit. Barrett wheels and deals at the rim.
And Zaire Fisher gets tied up there with Loper.
Did they call a foul there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fisher's third personal foul. First team foul. As the substitutions into the game, out Robinson in Loper.
To complete the trifecta.
So it's Loper, a steal by Mays. Shot no good, and ball touched and tipped out of bounds as that's a turnover. Charged to the Jaguars. And Barrett couldn't get that shot to go. And again, as we talked about earlier, no lead is safe when you're playing these Falcons. As the tenacious defense by Coach Williams, and that's a foul going to be called on a reach-around foul on the younger Loper, Grant Loper, his third personal foul. So Grant and Garrett are the twins. Gavin is their older brother, who's a senior. Foul shot dumped into Davis. Davis shot blocked, partially blocked, and nearly taken away as a foul is called on Bubba Davis. A warning given to the Millwood Falcon bench. Timeout taken by Coach Todd Milwee of the Westmore Jaguars, a 60-second timeout. We'll take it with them. We'll be back on the other side. You're listening to Millwood Basketball, sponsored by SSM Health, Love's Travel Stop, and Country Stores. We'll be back after the break.
Oklahoma City, we're live right now during the Millwood Falcons broadcast. And today we have Mr. Milo Wilson. Mr. Wilson, how are you doing?
I'm great. And yourself, sir?
Give us that great title of yours representing Millwood in what capacity?
I am the Millwood Enrichment Foundation president. Also the Millwood Oklahoma City School Board vice president.
Wonderful. Well, right now I know you represent the Enrichment Foundation, raising money. The goal is $25,000. Tell me, what is that $25,000 going to go towards?
I'm going to make you a promise. Each dollar that we raise will go towards our scholarships, towards our students, as well as our teacher needs.
Well, if they would like to make a donation of any kind, where should they go right now?
Right now, Cash App Millwood Enrich OKC. That is Millwood Enrich OKC, MILLWOOD ENRICH OKC.
Wonderful, and we look forward to seeing everyone reach that $25,000 goal, and you have a great day.
Thank you.
And welcome back to the John Nobles Invitational Tournament. Fourth quarter action here, where the Falcons are trailing 59-43 to the Westmore Jaguars, as the Falcons are looking to win the Constellation Championship. However, they've got a steep hill to climb now, down 16. 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Coach Todd Milwee and the Westmore Jaguars on the floor for the Falcons. Bradshaw, Williams, Fisher, Barrett, and Mays. On the floor for the Jaguars, Loper, Thomas, Dungar. Shot by Falcons, rebounded. Shot by the Jaguars and rebounded by the Jaguars. Reset the offense as they are taking some of the air out of the basketball to eliminate an opportunity for these Falcons to get a run. Fisher, Dongar's pushing off. Ball to the corner to Thomas, back out to Loper. Loper with the ball now, Loper. Fisher in defense. Timeout taken by Milwee, as Zaire Fisher is talking to the officiating crew again about fouls he did or did not get. It's a 30-second timeout. And so at this point, the Falcons are at a major deficit. However, there have been some bright spots. Fisher has played well with 5 points. Zon Williams has rebounded with 10 points. Barrett has 4 points on the night. Christopher Clay with 6 points. Chance Davis with 13 points. And so Chance has played well back-to-back on back-to-back nights. Bradshaw has come in and given the team a lift with 5 points from the post. Solomon Davis with 1 point. And that's the scoring, rounds out the scoring for the Falcons, who find themselves down 16-29. Coach Josh and Coach Williams still up coaching in the backcourt now. Zahn defending against the twin, Grant Loper. Loper forgets to take the ball, and Zahn is still up in his grill. Throws the ball into the backcourt, a turnover. As the no-look pass results in a turnover to his twin brother. 2:16 remaining. Foul on the play, no shot. Foul on the Chase Robinson picks up his first personal foul. Second team foul of the fourth quarter. Barrett shoots. Shot no good. Rebound. Jaguars. Fisher. Foul called on him. His fourth personal foul.
Right, you saw him before that timeout trying to have a conversation with the referee, trying to get some clarification, and he picks up his fourth.
It worked. Brought attention to himself. The official recognized it and said, you know what, you're correct. I should be calling more fouls. And so he looked at him to make sure he was good and put a foul on the book. 5-second violation against the Jaguars that results in another turnover. And so the defense has forced now 4 turnovers in this quarter. Fisher wheels, deals, looks. Tries to get the ball into Bradshaw after Barrett. Barrett between his legs, spins, goes towards the rim. Ball up, no good. There is a foul on the play. Foul on number 24, Grant Loper, his fifth personal foul. And so one Loper is gone. So Grant Loper has no points tonight, 5 fouls, as one of the twins. However, the other 2 Lopers have been carrying the load for him. Barrett's first free throw is up and good. Awaits the second, 59-44. Barrett's second shot no good. Zahn scoops it, scores it, and the foul. So a good exchange there for the Falcons, making the first, missing the second, and then did a putback for the and one for Zahn Williams. The second. Williams, free throw, good. So it's a 12-point deficit with 1 minute and 44 seconds for the Falcons as a timeout has been taken on the floor. It's a 60-second timeout as Coach Williams uses this time to coach up his team. We'll take the timeout with him. You're listening to Millwood Basketball, sponsored by SSM Health, Love's Country Stores and Travel Stops. We'll be back on the other side.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and I want you to tune into my show, Super Prep Live.
Super Prep Live takes an in-depth look at the Oklahoma high school student athlete and what makes he or she become great at what they do. Super Prep Live can be heard on OKC's CBS Sports Radio 105.3 and Instagram Live.
Make sure you tune in and learn about the next great student athlete on Super Prep Live with me, Miles Perry.
And welcome back inside the field house here at Moore High School. Douglas H. Frederick Sports Complex on the campus of Moore High School for the John Noble Invitational Tournament Constellation Finals. Millwood Falcons and the Westmore Jaguars. And the score of 59-47 on full court press and a foul called on Fisher. And that's his 5th personal foul. So Zaire's night is done. Leaves the game with 5 points and 5 fouls. Goes down and shakes the opposing coach's hands. Slaps 5s with the Loper brothers. And you know, when you play good competition, those persons that match up well with you, you leave it out on the floor and you go by and say, hey, you got me tonight. You tap them on the butt, or you hit them in the hand, slap 5 with them, and say, we'll see you again next year.
Right. I mean, it's all about respect. It's all about competition here, and you want to see a good, clean game.
Hats off to the Loper family, as not only I had one son that could play basketball.
Right.
He wasn't out there with 2 of his other brothers playing at the same time at a high level.
Right. Loper brothers definitely out there making some memories.
Together. High pressure. Zon Williams bumps. And a timeout taken by Milwee as pressure abounds all over the place. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. And so, partner, we've almost come to the end of the road. And, that could be a song.
Boys to men.
Yeah, we won't be sad that it's over. We'll be glad that we've done it. We'll be better people for it. And the team will get better as they've learned some things about themselves. Some other members on the boys team have stepped up in key times when the ones we trust and lean on to get it done are not getting it done. And emerging other players step up and emerge. I've been impressed by the play of Bradshaw as he's come in and played some valuable minutes this game.
Absolutely.
And so it was a learning opportunity. Amari Barrett has proven that he can step up and have impactful moments and points for this team. Of course, we know Zaire and Bubba Davis have long memories of their things that they've done here while wearing the Millwood uniform. And so they're no stranger to doing that. We're looking at Mays, who's stepping up at key times.
Christopher Clay has been shooting lights out from 3.
Clay and others. And so when speaking to Coach Williams, he said that in the pregame interview that I did with him, that, hey, we're a deep team. We've got some other players that can get it done. And just because one of the key components is not getting it done, we've got someone else that can come in and step in at any moment. Bradshaw steps around and forces the held ball, and that's going to be a turnover as it goes to the Falcons on a headsy play by Bradshaw. Stuck his paw out and helped tie the ball up. 57.5 Zon in the backcourt, takes off running, being chased by Loper, and there's a shot at the rim, no good, tipped back up, and a foul call again, and it appears as though someone is going to go to the free throw line for the Falcons. Fouls on number 23, Donker, his 3rd personal foul. Bradshaw goes to the line for 2. First shot, good. So again, I can't say it enough, Bradshaw has been impressive here as a freshman stepping in on the floor. Proving that the stage is not too big for him. Second free throws up, no good. Ball knocked away by Zon Williams. Substitution is in game number 10, Mark Presley Jr. Bradshaw exits the game with 6 points tonight. Another foul called in the backcourt. Amari Barrett, his first personal foul of the game. Gavin Loper at the line shoots 2 for the Jaguars.
I mean, for as many minutes as Amari Barrett gets each game, he does a great job not fouling.
Absolutely. I was going to make mention of that. First shot's up and good. Barrett, or for Loper. And that tells me he's a smart, headsy player. He can get out and tangle up and do the things he needs to do as the second shot goes in, as Bradshaw comes back into the game for Josiah Mays, who exits. Zon gets down court and turns with a head of steam and gets fouled. And that foul's on Garrett Loper, his 4th personal foul. 5th team foul. Zon Williams at the line shoots 2. First free throw, no good. A 13-point night at this point for Zon Williams, and that's good news on the bounce back. Bubba Davis, leading scorer right now. $14 points for Zon Williams, the second. Zon checks out of the ball game. 44.1 remaining. Loper into the front court, deep to the corner to Robinson. Back out to Loper. And Donovan Knight commits a foul.
And Coach Williams just asking him why.
That far away from the goal, fouling. Yeah, great question, Coach. Gavin Loper back to the free throw line. First shot, no good. Awaits the second. 35.8 seconds remaining, 61-49. Second shot good. 62-49. Barrett with the basketball. Into the front court. Stops, pops a three. Shot no good. Bradshaw wrestling Donkar. And the foul. Donkar will be at the line. Bradshaw picks up his third personal foul. Donkar. 27.5 seconds remaining here in regulation on this Constellation Championship game here at the John Nobles Invitational Tournament featuring the Millwood Falcons and the Westmore Jaguars. And the Jaguars with a sizable lead, 62-49 with 27.5 as Donkar's first free throw is no good. Second free throw is up and good. Pushes the lead to 63-49. Mays into the front court, shot no good. Tipped and into the front court. And the Falcons are looking to let the clock run out as Barrett backs off of Loper. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 2 seconds. And that's the ball game. So on a Saturday night where the things didn't go so well for the Millwood Falcons, who fall 63-49 to the Westmore Jaguars. However, it's a night where there's been some bounce back by several of the players, and so we'll talk about that when we come back on the other side after the break. We're at postgame, and it's sponsored by SSM Health Hospitals, and they're the proud sponsors of Millwood Broadcast. Sometimes every hard-fought game, a player needs the services of a sports medicine specialist, and those specialists at SSM Health Hospitals have a great team to get a player back into the game from injury. We'll be back after a quick break. Into postgame we'll keep it right here for a second as some of the Falcons are being recognized for their play here, and we'll be able to call them out as they are announced as the winning team players are being recognized, and Zaire Fisher has been recognized. Zaire Fisher recognized on the all-tournament team here at the John Nobles Invitational Tournament. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to Millwood Basketball, sponsored by SSM Health, Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores. Back on the other side.
Oklahoma City, we're live right now during the Millwood Falcons broadcast. And today we have Mr. Milo Wilson. Mr. Wilson, how are you doing?
I'm great. And yourself, sir?
Give us that great title of yours representing Millwood in what capacity?
I am the Millwood Enrichment Foundation president. Also the Millwood Oklahoma City School Board vice president.
Wonderful. Well, right now I know you represent the Enrichment Foundation, raising money. The goal is $25,000. Tell me, what is that $25,000 going to go towards?
I'm going to make you a promise. Each dollar that we raise will go towards our scholarships, towards our students, as well as our teacher needs.
Well, if they would like to make a donation of any kind, where should they go right now?
Right now, Cash App Millwood Enrich OKC. That is Millwood Enrich OKC, MILLWOOD ENRICH OKC.
Wonderful, and we look forward to seeing everyone reach that $25,000 goal, and you have a great day.
Thank you.
And welcome back to Post Game, sponsored by SSM Health Hospitals. And they have a great team to get a player back in the game from injury. And they're proud sponsors of the Millwood broadcast. And we certainly thank them for their support and bringing this game to you. Thank you for being with us tonight. Dwayne Doolittle, Jamin Dawson. We're here still as the post-game awards have been given out, as Zaire Fisher from the Millwood Falcons has been named to the all-tournament team as the Falcons fall 63-49 by the Westmore Jaguars. And so, Jamin, we have to see what went well, talk about some things that went well, not so well for the Falcons, what the outlook is. They've got to have a short memory as Tuesday games start again, weather permitting, of course. They'll be right back into the saddle again as the Falcons will be hosting a home game, and it's an added game, not one that was originally on the schedule. And so we wait to see who that opponent is. I only know that there will be a game. Don't know who that opponent is just yet, but certainly they will be playing at Tuesday at the Wood, and we certainly want you to join us there for that as boys and girls action. Games start at 6 p.m. and followed closely 7:30 p.m. by the boys game. And so we certainly want you to join us for that broadcast as we get back in the saddle at home, the comforts at home, and where we know the corners and know everything about what's going on over there. We want the crowd to bring the energy as the Falcons need your support as we get this thing turned around and ramped up towards playoffs. And that's what it's all about. And so when we look at this experience here tonight, it's about building for the playoffs, not necessarily your W's and your L's. It's about the lessons learned and the application going forward. I can honestly say that these Falcons won't face teams of this size as they get into district playoffs down the road. So they have a better idea of where they are when it comes to this size, and Coach Williams and his staff will certainly do what they need to do to get the teams ready as they start facing opponents going forward. So that's a good outlook for the Falcons. And on the women's side, Coach David Albert, same thing. You know, she's learning some lessons, and they're on a big slide right now. I think it's an 8-game slide that they've been on. And so they're figuring some things out along the way, and they'll have to get that done in quick order, get things turned around as they head into the playoffs in the month of February. And so a couple more weeks of regular season action, and then we'll be headed deep into the playoffs as we make the run for March. And weather-wise, I'm ready for March.
Absolutely. I could use some spring right now.
Yeah, and so I'll share this with you that here next week on Thursday, I will be cruising on a vessel in the Gulf of Mexico, going out for a 4-day cruise with a buddy I'm celebrating his birthday, and I can't wait. And then I turn around after that and I head to France, and France's weather is just like the weather we're having now. So I've got one suitcase with warm clothes and another suitcase with cold clothes. And so we'll be making those trips, and so we'll be absent. So we
Do you have a plus one?
It's going to be my suitcase.
Man.
And so and I'll share this information with you on the trip to France. It's a foreign exchange trip for my son, who's an 8th grader, and his French club selected him to go, and he doesn't like to travel without either his mom or his dad, and his mom couldn't go, and so I said, you know what, I'm going.
Way to go, Pop.
So we'll get a chance to take some pictures at the Eiffel Tower and do all those things that fathers and sons do to make memories like that, and that'll be a picture that his mom won't be in, and that'll be his and I memory that he and I share for an eternity. And so we look forward to that. But back to the business at hand here. We've got to name a player of the game. And the player of the game is brought to you by Big O's Pork and Dreams, home of the Big Nasty Tater. They have 2 locations to serve, with one in Edmond and one in Midwest City. Stop by Big O's Pork and Dreams for lunch or dinner, and Big O will make your dreams come true. Player of the game brought to you by Big O's Pork and Dreams and Super Prep. And so, Damon, who do you got, man?
No other than Zon Williams. I mean, he's overcome quite a bit past 3 or 4 games. I mean, stretching the last weekend, he's overcome some free throw troubles. He's overcome just some troubles overall, injuries. So to come out here and respond in this last game like that, 14 points, that's a great response. Yeah,
and those of you who didn't follow us, he was benched on last game. He just didn't have it, and his coach took him out, set him on the bench mid-3rd quarter. He didn't play any in the 4th quarter, and he came out today with a basketball game, had 14 points for his team in a losing effort. However, he got things turned around, and that's a positive sign. So Zon Williams is your Big O's Pork and Dreams and Super Prep player of the game tonight here, where the Falcons fall to the Westmore Jaguars 63-49. Well, part of that's just going to about do it for us. We'd like to thank our title sponsors, SSM Health, Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores. Additional sponsors, the Sunbeam Family Services, Millwood Enrichment Foundation, where you can still contribute to the Millwood Enrichment Foundation. First Security Bank, stop by and take out a loan. A-Plus Lawn Services with Milo Wilson. You can have your lawn at your home or your business looking mean and green. Big O's Pork and Dreams. Stop by for the Big Nasty Tater, and he can make your dreams come true there. Chris and Christy Harrison Heritage Funeral Home. David Threes Hair Cafe Cosmetology School. Wings Supreme. Narissa Berry Insurance Agency. Love Student of the Month. Super Prep. And Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company. So thanks to our engineer, Langston Shirley, to Taz, our camera operator, Jamin, for being here with me. I'm Dwayne Doolittle. We thank you for joining us. You've been listening to Millwood Basketball, sponsored by S&M Help, Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores. We'll see you on Tuesday as the Falcons are back at home. Same channel, same time. Goodbye, everybody. Have a good night.
Oklahoma City, we're live right now during the Millwood Falcons broadcast. And today we have Mr. Milo Wilson. Mr. Wilson, how are you doing?
I'm great, and yourself, sir?
Give us that great title of yours representing Millwood in what capacity?
I am the Millwood Enrichment Foundation president, also the Millwood Oklahoma City School Board vice president.
Wonderful. Well, right now I know you represent the Enrichment Foundation, raising money. The goal is $25,000. Tell me, what is that $25,000 going to go towards?
I'm going to make you a promise. Each dollar that we raise will go towards our scholarships, towards our students, as well as our teacher needs.
Well, if they would like to make a donation of any kind, where should they go right now?
Right now, Cash App Millwood Enrich OKC. That is Millwood Enrich OKC, MILLWOOD ENRICH OKC.
Wonderful, and we look forward to seeing everyone